There he is by Ryan Wood on Twitter. Ryan, I'm not sure what you were thinking coming into this one because you and I normally talk on Friday on Wisconsin Sports Daily, and we'll probably do that again tomorrow. But I'm not sure I saw them, I'm going to say, kind of dominating the way they did tonight.
I had them winning. Sparky, I had them winning their first two games. I had them 2-0 coming into the season. I thought they would win. I did not think that they would outscore the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders, the two-time reigning NFC North champions and last year's conference runner-up, by a score of 54-31 in 4 days after getting out to leads of 27-6 in the opener against the Lions and 27-10 against the Commanders. These were not ball games. They were dominated, both teams, on both sides of the line of scrimmage, both times. And if you subscribe to the theory that the Lions and Commanders are going to be in it, every year there's another team in every conference that kind of rises up, that dark horse team. We don't know who that is yet.
Yep.
But these two teams are going to be in it. And they just spanked both of them. How good can this team be? It's only the second game of Micah Parsons. He's still ramping up, 50 snaps tonight. How good can they be? It's scary.
I think there's a couple of different talking points here. One of the talking points is something we have not addressed yet on this show with Tommy and I want to get what your thoughts are and maybe what the chatter was in the press box. But I was stunned that they put Belton out there, their second-round pick, to start at right tackle today. I think we all assumed Morgan would start at left guard for Banks being out, but I really thought they would go with the vet from Philly, Kennard, out there at right tackle, even though he's only got, I think, one start last year. But I was shocked they went with Belton, and then I was surprised that after he had the horrible holding call and then negated the touchdown, that LaFleur yanked him as quickly as he did.
Well, he didn't yank him. I think they came into the game tonight with a plan to rotate drive by drive. I thought at first that he was yanked too, but the plan was to go Anthony Belton first drive, Darian Kennard second drive, Anthony Belton third, Darian Kennard fourth, and so on and so forth. I am shocked that they didn't just go with Darian Kennard. I was in locker room after the game. Have you heard Matt LaFleur's explanation? I'm sure he was asked about it.
Yeah, we haven't played LaFleur or Love yet. I played a little bit of Josh Jacobs just before you started calling in.
Yeah, so I don't know what he had to say about it yet, but I did not see that coming. And, I mean, okay, on one hand, he is a second-round pick. He's really young at a position that takes time. I mean, it took time for Elton Jenkins. He started his career rotating with Lane Taylor. It took time for Sean Ryan, who's now kind of the starting right guard, right? I mean, his first 2 years, he did nothing. It takes time at that position. This is his second game. So I don't think this is in any way an indictment on the type of NFL player Anthony Belton's going to be. But he struggled with penalties, especially holding penalties in the preseason. He had a big holding penalty early tonight. I was surprised by that, not because he's massive, he's athletic. I think he can be a good tackle in this league. He's just young.
Right, and it's going to take time to figure it out. Packers beat writer Ryan Wood from the Green Bay Press-Gazette joins us here on the Green Bay Football postgame show on The Fan. He joins us, by the way, on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. I want to also talk about the wide receiver, because now Jaden Reed, it looks like broken collarbone for him. And I think most teams, you'd be kind of freaking out maybe a little bit. This Packer wide receiver room is so deep, even without not having Christian Watson until probably the middle of October, that, yes, losing Reed sucks, but I don't get all that concerned about, oh boy, there's going to be some big drop-off in the offense.
Doesn't it seem to you like the pressure's just kind of been lifted off this offense with how the defense has played?
Yeah.
Which only makes everyone better. I mean, we talk about the Micah Parsons effect on every defender around him, Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, so on and so forth, Keyshawn Nixon tonight. I mean, it's a little easier to cover and have 5 PBUs when you know that the receiver's not making double and triple moves. It's got to go with one move because the pass rush is getting home. It's big on the offense too. And, you know, you see Dontavian Wicks, how comfortable he looks with his hands. I'm not saying that's just the Micah Parsons effect. He's put a lot of work into it, but it's just, there's a peace of mind on that offense right now. Okay, the defense has got it. That I don't know that I've seen in my 12 seasons covering this team. I haven't seen that from the Packers offense because of the defense. The other point that I think is important to make, I've been saying this, Sparky, since last November. Tucker Kraft's your number one receiver.
Yes.
This is his first 100-yard game tonight. It's not going to be his last. And I think more than the fact that Tucker Kraft finally broke out and had a huge game, and I think it's his first of many to come. He caught a pass in literally every single situation, area of the field that you could catch a pass. So both goal lines, he catches a pass that was targeted 17 yards down the past line of scrimmage for 57 yards, which was the big thing that they needed to unlock for him this offseason, was how to maximize him as a downfield playmaker when his blocking is also foundational. And if you look at that 57-yard reception that Tucker Kraft had, the scheme left him wide open. They schemed that up. He was the second tight end coming out of that formation, and the Commanders completely lost him. The one guy you cannot lose right now, if you are a secondary manning up this Packers offense, is Tucker Kraft, and they lost him. I asked him after the game, of all the catches you had tonight, is there one that really stood out to you as being emblematic of your journey, your development that you've had to this point in your career as a pass catcher? And it wasn't the touchdown. The touchdown was like vintage, okay, tight end leak, the safety was down, he's wide open. He knew before the snap. It was the third down. Think about everything that he went through to catch that, 3rd and 6 for 8 yards. He gets held. He gets a bear hug from Will Harris, the Commander's safety. He slips coming out of his break. He gets back up, and then he also finishes the catch. Like the number of challenges on that's where he is right now. And so I think not just the talent, but the versatility, the fact that he is a guy that no matter where he is on the field, you can go to him deep, short. He's your number one receiver.
We all talk about Matthew Golden, and Love underthrows him on the one that could have been a touchdown, and then the other one barely misses him as Golden ran by the secondary of Washington. Would have been a huge play and a touchdown. That chemistry will continue to develop and get better. But Savion Williams, that 3rd-round pick, who everybody heard about being that Swiss Army knife, kind of like how they've used Jaden Reed, they were using him tonight, including in a Wildcat look.
And Savion Williams is someone we're just kind of now seeing. He was hurt all training camp, so we didn't know what to really expect. And what we're seeing is kind of as advertised coming out of college, is he's a guy that you can get the football to in a variety of different ways and just let him run, because he's a dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hands, and that's what he's been. You look at, we just talked about Tucker Kraft's versatility, right? Think about Savion Williams' versatility. Think about Matthew Golden's versatility. Okay, the timing's still not there yet with Jordan Love, but hey, you can get him on some jet sweeps and get him involved in the game. There's a lot of versatile pieces on this Packers offense. They're not just deep at playmaker; they're versatile, and that's got to be a great joy for any play caller with the creativity of Matt LaFleur.
Time with Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette Packers beat writer here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show. He joins us after every Packer game, and he'll join me again tomorrow afternoon on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, possibly at 2:40. I haven't seen if these guys are talking tomorrow yet or not. But the other one I want to get to before I let you get back to doing your work there at Lambeau is Keyshawn Nixon. Maybe his best game at cornerback for the Packers?
I think you can drop the maybe. He was all over the football tonight, to the point where, I literally had to look late in the game, how many PBUs does he have now? He's got 5. That's
crazy good.
That's a ridiculous number. I remember a game, Jair Alexander's, I think, rookie season in LA against the Rams, where he had 5 PBUs, 2018. I would have to check. I don't know if any corner DB has had 5 PBUs in a game for the Packers since then. Maybe, but off the top of my head, I can't think of it. And who is he kind of replacing is that CB1 in the Packers secondary.
Which is what he said he wanted at the end of last year when you all were asking about special teams or whatever. And he's like, I don't really kind of want to do that. I want to be a CB1 on this team going forward. Well, here's your opportunity. Go run with it.
Yeah, 5 PBUs against Jaden Daniels is in your second game, and that role is a really good way to start. So, I do think that so much of this is just the Micah Parsons effect. It's so much easier for everyone on this roster, not just defense, when you've got a true field tilter like him. Micah Parsons tonight played 50 snaps. He had, by my count, 7 pressures, including 4 quarterback hits. One of those, of course, the half sack. He drew 3 penalties. One of those, of course, the half sack. He had illegal hands in the face. He had a holding. And then Laramie Tunsil lines up across from that left tackle and looks like he's seen a ghost and just starts backpedaling backwards before the snap. That's your second game of Micah Parsons. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's very, very good. And we had mentioned this earlier in the show. I think I saved it. Oh, maybe I didn't. But of the 8 pressures he had, 6 of those pressures came in the second half for Micah Parsons. So I don't think he was getting tired as he continued to push through. And I would assume the assumption is he's full goal whole game by the time they get to Dallas in week 4.
Yeah, he made it very clear after the game at his locker that he's grown tired of one thing, and that is the snap count. He would like to be unleashed. So I will say this. I'll say this, and this is in no way, let me be clear, I am in no way being critical because Micah Parsons has been a game wrecker. Yeah. I did see some hands on the hips late in the game.
Sure.
How could he not? He's played what now? Like 80 snaps the last 4 games after no training camp. He's had double-digit pressures in those 2 games, a sack and a half. He's forced an interception. And this is the ramped-up version of Micah Parsons. This is not mid-season form. He didn't have a training camp. I think some hands on the hips can be forgiven, all things considered.
I can't wait to see what happens in that Cincinnati game against Joe Burrow after they get a bye week after he plays 4 games and Halfley gets to go back into the lab to cook up some more stuff. It's going to be good. Ryan Wood.
I'll tell you this. I mentioned it earlier, but think about their first 2 games. They've gotten out to leads of 27-6 and 27-10. If this team keeps playing with the lead throughout the season, which sure seems like that's likely, how are opposing quarterbacks going to survive? If you take the running game away and just let this pass rush get after it like that, that's straight up dangerous. I mean, that's a long day at the office against this pass rush. They're scary good, Sparky.
So, are you in Super Bowl already after week 2, or is that in your head? Is that where we're at?
I picked him to go to the Super Bowl, and I picked him to go 13-4. I've seen nothing in the first 2 games that's going to persuade me otherwise.
You picked them to go to the Super Bowl?
You picked them to lose 4 games?
Oh, shut up, Tommy. Shut up. Pick them to lose 4 games. They may not lose 4 games. Who knows? I can't imagine that Ryan Wood picked him to go to the Super Bowl. Have you ever picked him to go to the Super Bowl before a year?
It's been a few years. I picked them before. Here's one more thing. So it's the first 2-0 start for this team since 2020. That year, they beat the Vikings at Minnesota in that first COVID game and the Lions to start 2-0. Both of those teams ended the season with losing records that year. They just started 2-0 against 2 of the absolute premium contenders with them in this conference. I mean, if the NFC's got a big 4, isn't it Eagles, Packers, Lions, Commanders in some form coming into the season, right? Maybe you throw the Rams or Bucks in there. That's, to me, that's the big 4 in this conference. And they spanked them. This is not the same as 2020. In 2020, they were really good. They're number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. They had a home field advantage for the NFC Championship game. They're really good in 2020. This is not that, what they just did.
No, it's not. Ryan, thank you so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon.
All right, take care.
There he is, Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette.